What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. In the last episode, we started the Lanayru mining facility, got ourselves the Gust Bellows, and made it to what I would consider to be like the halfway point of this temple. In this episode, hopefully we're going to finish things up here, take on the boss, and then finally make our way into the Temple of Time, like the entire reason why we started this temple. So, let's get to it. Like, there's still plenty to do inside this temple. To start, we need to make our way across this giant sink sand pit. So if we look at our map, we can zoom in and you'll notice that, yeah, there's sort of like this hidden path that we can walk across safely to the other side, and along the way, we can pick up like a secret or two. So that's precisely what we're going to do. Now, generally speaking, like, this is where the temples start to get a little bit longer. Like, the previous two temples were pretty short. This one is artificially long. Like, the second half of this temple, which is, you know, the part we're in right now, it's longer than it needs to be, and what I mean by that is, if I gave you guys like a list of all the objectives that we need to complete, you'd probably think to yourself, wow, that's really not all that much, like how could this temple really be that much longer? Well, it's just that there's a lot of waiting involved for like things to move or various different events to take place, and that really does like pad out the second half of this temple. That's kind of like another reason why I don't really like it. Anyways, we got ourselves a goddess plume. Holy crap, that was kind of unexpected. I'm pretty sure like goddess plumes can sometimes take the place of amber relics in chests, and I'm fairly certain like that chest was supposed to contain an amber relic, so we got pretty lucky in the fact that we got a goddess plume. Now they're pretty rare right now, but later on in the game there's actually an area where we can like farm for goddess plumes indefinitely, so they do become more common later on down the line. However, right now they're really not bad to have because of course we can use them to upgrade various different items, but we can also sell them for like 100 rupees a pop, so yeah, definitely not a bad item to have on hand. Anyways, let's hopefully roll this bomb right into that guy, and oh crap, I actually tilted my Wii Remote. I forgot like that when you roll a bomb, if you tilt the Wii Remote afterwards, it sort of changes the direction. That was my bad, but whatever, he still exploded due to the blast radius, so yeah, we just gotta go up and to the right a little bit. I kind of want to like make sure I check my map and make sure I don't walk anywhere where I'm not supposed to. Like, if you do accidentally walk into like the deep sink sand, just like spam the A button as fast as you can, because then you'll start running and you have a chance of getting back to like safe ground, although you really shouldn't have too much trouble like navigating this area. Anyways, if we can kill that guy, that'd be great. I believe like right behind him inside that sand pile is actually an amber relic, but given the fact that we have like 11 of them already, I really don't feel compelled to go and pick that one up. So instead, I'm just going to ignore it and move on. Like, we'll find more amber relics later on, so not that big of a deal. Anyways, this like catacomb system here will take us to the next major part of the temple. Now, navigating these things can be a little bit confusing, especially if you don't already know where to go. If you don't know where to go, I recommend using the map, because believe it or not, the map actually has this entire segment like detailed out for you, so it'll tell you exactly where you need to go, and that is not where we need to go. Let's try going in this direction. See, there we go, that's where we need to go. I sort of like knew the general area. Alright, so this entire room is filled with a ton of sand. Let's get to blowing with our glorified leaf blower and start clearing this area out, because the gimmick of this room is that yeah, there's spike traps everywhere, and the sand is sort of like, not making it easy to figure out where the traps are. So obviously you want to clear out the sand, that way we can figure out where it's safe to walk, where it's not safe to walk, and, there's a couple of other goodies, like, hidden under the sand as well. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a switch that we need to hit in order to exit this room, and also, if I'm not mistaken, there's actually, yeah, a chest over here that does contain 20 rupees. Of course, you know, we still need to find a way to, like, get over to where that chest is. First things first, though, let's look for that switch that we need to press, because I'm pretty sure it's somewhere over here. There it is. Let's just finish clearing this off, and bam, there we go. Door is unlocked, and now we can leave this room. But of course, I want to get that chest. Shouldn't really take us too long to get it. Oh, by the way, someone actually brought up in the comments of the last video those weird like pufferfish enemies. When they're not like all spiked up, if you hit them with your sword, they will blow up instantly. So that's why like that enemy blew up when I sort of knocked it into what I thought was the side of that platform. Anyways, there's our chest, there's our 20 rupees. Not bad. Didn't take us too long to get, but now that we got that, we're pretty much done in this room. Like, I'm not going to spend any more time blowing around the sand, although I'd like to think I did that pretty efficiently, so whatever, not that big of a deal. Let's just head out here, and guess what? Now we're back in the main hub room. But oh, what's this in front of us? Let's blow it off, and guess what? Yep, it's a minecart, but inside it is a time shift stone. So, what do you say we stab that and check it out? So this is where like the waiting comes into play, because now when you activate these minecarts with the time shift stones, they move on their own. They move very, very slowly though, and this is not even like the slowest one. They go even slower than this, so yeah, this eats up a lot of time. Plus, along the way, like, we're gonna have to deal with various different enemies and obstacles, and all those things will actually stop the cart from moving. Well, the obstacles will, like, the enemies won't. So let's just try and take care of this guy as quickly as we can, and I always get hit by, like, the first bullet of these guys, no matter what. Like, I swear, I could be a football field away from them. I will always mess up, like, the first bullet, no matter what. I have no idea why that is. Like, it's just a really bad habit that, like, I'm in, because I swear, like, I'll be prepared for it, and I'll just, like, not swing and be like, oh, why did I get hit? I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it was clearly my fault. And hey, well, still, some of the rupees still fell off, like, in the endless, but I was kind of hoping we would get more than just that, but you know what, I'll take what I can get. Anyways, now let's just activate this switch using our gust bellows, and keep following this minecart, because now we have to follow it all the way to the other side of the room. Now, remember what I said about those enemies appearing as, like, these things move along? Yeah, so you're going to want to make sure you, like, stand relatively close to the cart. That way the BMOs don't hit you with their giant lasers, although this BMO is actually going to appear right in the middle of the track. So, yeah, you do want to get to this guy as quickly as you can. That way you can take him out before he has, like, a chance to use any of his lasers. Alright, so we're about halfway to the other side now. There will be like 2 more BMOs appearing on the right side, so we'll just stick to like the left side of our cart and be perfectly safe. Although as soon as like this thing creates the last platform, I'm gonna make a run for it, because I do not want to wait longer than I have to. Alright, there we go, we're good. Thankfully the game is nice enough to give us like these switches that when we pull, will bring the cart like instantly to us. So yeah, at least like we cut out some of the waiting. Alright, while we're here, we might as well create this shortcut back to, like, the, I guess, beginning section of the temple, although we probably won't use it or even go back there, since there's really no reason to head over there at this point. Instead, we're gonna head down this direction, because guess what? There's another really large pile of sand, and guess what's under it? Another minecart with a time shift stone, and this is like the slowest minecart in the entire game. I mean, it's got a good reason to be slow, but like it is ridiculously slow, so this one's gonna be a fun journey. There's really only one enemy along the way that we need to worry about, and that's the BMO that is sort of like on that platform right over there. So I'll try and like run up to him and take him out as soon as like he appears, but it's gonna be a hot second or two, guys, so just hold tight, and come on, almost there. Alright, now we can take him out, and that was ridiculously easy. Alright, so the reason why, like, this platform is so slow is because right over there is actually a pinwheel switch. Now, we need to activate this switch, pretty much as soon as it comes into existence. That way, you know, we have enough time to keep up with our cart. So it should turn on any second now. And hopefully we can do this quick enough. Like, we gotta unlock that door before these platforms disappear. And there we go. We've done it. So, yeah, that's why it's so slow. Like, it gives you enough time to, like, make sure you open up that switch. Now, let's just bring this cart to us. And we gotta make our way back to that door. You might be wondering how you do that. Well, it's quite simple. Just, deactivate the minecart, which will, of course, turn everything off. And now, if we reactivate the minecart, it'll start traveling in the opposite direction. So now we just have to wait until like it builds enough platforms for us to actually reach where that door is. Yeah, fun times. I suppose like if you did miss the pinwheel switch like the first time, this is where you would get that second opportunity to hit it again, and then I mean you'd be on the way to the door anyway, so hopefully at that point you would have actually successfully opened up the door. Alright, we should be good now. So let's enter what I think is actually the last room that does have puzzles. Like, after we get through this room, we should have everything we need to go to the boss door, so that's pretty exciting. There's a couple of new things in here, though, like these pipes that are just, like, blowing out massive amounts of hot air. If you are unfortunate enough to run into those, they will blow you down into, like, the abyss below, so watch out for that. Anyways, let's very quickly take out all of these. Aw, the jelly blob fell down the hole. Well, I guess those guys really wanted the jelly blob because they are jumping, like, right after it. But yeah, you want to make sure you knock those guys off, like, before you start climbing these vines. Otherwise, you're in for a pretty bad time. And wow, okay, how the heck did that steam even knock me off? Like, I was nowhere close to, like, where those particles ended. I have no idea what you're trying to pull, game, but, I saw that, man. I saw that. Yeah, obviously, do be careful of the giant apparent steam plumes. And apparently, even if you are, like, anywhere close to them, they will knock you off those vines. Thankfully, we didn't, like, you know, fall off into the abyss down below, because that would have stunk if we did. But, again, wouldn't really have been, like, the end of the world, since you very rarely take fall damage in this game. Alright, so over here, what we gotta do is actually take our bombs and throw them into these statues. That way we can create sort of like a bridge to the other side, because that's where we're gonna find the time shift stone for this room. And boy, oh boy, does that change things up, like, dramatically in this room, because this room goes from being, like, pretty boring, not too interesting, to having, like, so many different puzzles and elements that you need to solve. It actually becomes a lot of fun. But there we go, we got ourselves another amber relic. So, ta-da! That one will make up for the one that, you know, I passed up earlier on. Plus, it's, like, way easier to collect. Alright, so let's see, what's behind door number 3? Nothing at all. Well, that is kind of disappointing. Whatever, though, let's just, dust off this stone. That way we can change things up a bit. Back to the past we go, guys. Alright, so there's the chest that contains the boss door object. So this entire room is basically leading up to that. Once we get that, we'll be able to go back to the hub room and take on the boss of this temple. So it's pretty exciting. Like, getting to that key is the last thing that we need to do. Now, there are a lot of steps to get to that key, so we're sort of going to tackle things one at a time. Let's actually wait for the trash to fall down. That way we can hopefully make our way across here without getting knocked off. There we go. I don't think going down that ladder is important, so let's pull this switch. That way we can bring this back to us and use it to cross over to the other side. This puzzle's, like, got a couple of different steps to it, but basically it's just going to be us, like, moving around this room and sort of activating 3 different switches. And come on, what there we go. I swear, like, every time I always pick, like, the wrong direction to blow on these weird, like, turbine platforms. I don't know why that is. Alright, over here, you know, we should probably take care of this guy first before we do, like, really anything, just because he's gonna be annoying if we don't. I missed it again! Every single time, I swear, every single time I will always miss the first shot. I can always get, like, the second one perfectly fine. It's just the first shot, I swear. I have no idea what is wrong with me, guys. Like, I really don't get it. Alright, let's get rid of you and you. And, come on, fire your little tiny missile. Watch, I guarantee you I'll hit this one perfectly. Yeah, see, there you go. I don't know what it is. Like, it must be some random, like, mental block I have, because I swear, like, I have no other trouble fighting those guys besides that first missile, so I really just don't get it. Anyways, so let's grab our bombs, because we need to blow up these statues. Now, behind these statues, guess what, are these weird symbols. Now, these symbols are, I guess, part of a code that we need to, like, solve a puzzle on the opposite side of this room. So let's just blow up the last statue. That way we get, like, the last key to our code, and it's 2, 3, 1. So keep that in the back of your mind, although you really don't need to remember it, since like, the puzzle is on the opposite side of the room. So if you ever, like, do forget it, you can literally look behind you, and yeah, the code is right there. So not really, like, the biggest deal if you forget it. Anyways, let's try and get this platform over to the right side of the room. That way, you know, we can ride it to the back of the room and get over to the other side. That way we can start solving this code. I gotta say, though, I kind of wish these, like, turbine platforms worked similar to the platforms in, like, Wind Waker, because when you use the Deku Leaf in Wind Waker to, like, propel yourself on various different platforms, all you had to do was, like, point it behind you and just let it rip, like, and then you would just go where you needed to go. Like, this is just way more confusing. Maybe it's just because I'm dumb and I always, like, point the thing in the wrong direction. But I gotta say, like, Wind Waker just made it so simplistic, so I kind of wish it was a little more, like that. Regardless, though, now that we're here, let's actually, create this shortcut by pulling this block. There we go. See, that's all I had to do. But, yeah, you definitely want to make that first before you do anything else, because I will be taking advantage of that, in a little bit. For now, though, let's see if we can't get this platform to actually move in the proper direction. No! Come on, I just had it. There we go. Because, yes, on this side, there are 3 more statues that we need to blow up. And these sort of correspond with these statues on the opposite side of this room. So guess what? Behind these statues, instead of a number or a symbol, we have ourselves a switch. So, yeah, we just need to, like, hit these switches in the correct order using the code on, like, the other side of this room. And gosh dang, I literally just did this correctly, like, 2 seconds ago. I don't know what is wrong with me, man. I really just don't get it. Come on, just a little bit more. There we go. And let's grab our bombs again. You know, that is kind of like another thing I wish Skyward Sword had. Like, it might seem like a little complaint, but, I kind of wish Skyward Sword had the ability to equip more than one item, although I actually don't even think that would be possible because there's, like, not enough buttons on, like, the Wii Remote to, like, really handle that. Like, every button is pretty much already used in Skyward Sword, so it would be kind of hard to, like, you know, have a button for more than one items. Plus, like, each item does use the motion control, so I understand, like, the reasons why they couldn't do it, but it does make using your inventory a little bit more annoying. Alright, so we should be able to see all these switches from this platform. So 1 is on the right, 2 is on the left, and 3 is in the middle. That's the order that we need to hit these switches. So, well, actually now it's kind of mirrored since we're facing the other direction, but yeah, 1 is on the left on this side, so let's hit that one first. Then 2 is all the way on the right, and hopefully I can hit this one without, like, needing to move that platform. Come on. There we go. And last, we'll hit number 3. So bam, all 3 switches activated, and that unlocks the door that gets us 1 step closer to the boss door object. Now I think we can actually just jump down here, and oh yeah, there we go, we made it. Nice. And since we did unlock that shortcut, we can just climb up this ladder instead of, like, using that platform to go all the way back here. But now we need to deal with 2 of these guys. You know, these guys remind me a lot of, like, Armoses, although a little bit different since, like, you don't use bombs, you have to, like, use your gust bellows to blow them open. But they still, like, share a lot of the same characteristics of an Armos, so maybe these are, like, some ancient ancestor of, like, the Armos, or the Armos were sort of designed after these things. Who actually knows? I wonder who, like, actually made all these weird, like, robots to begin with. Like, again, I have so many questions about, like, the past version of this province. Like, so many things that I wish I just knew, but I don't, and it kind of does annoy me. Like, maybe all these things were created, like, by the goddess herself to, like, help defend against various different forces of evil. Like, who really knows? But I don't really think that makes a whole lot of sense. Plus, that's kind of like a cop-out answer. Whatever, though, now that both those guys are gone, we can finally open up this chest, and after all this time, get ourselves the ancient circuit, as it's called, in this temple. And whoa, that thing looks pretty complex. Like, if I do remember correctly, the puzzle used to, like, open up the door in this temple is actually kind of hard, so oh man, I'm not really looking forward to that one. Like, I may spend a couple of minutes trying to solve it, not gonna lie. Most of them, like, you can solve by looking at, but there are a few in the game that are just like, what is even going on? And I think this is one of those, and oh, that was actually pretty dang close. Alright, so watch out for the pipes here because, yeah, they are blowing out, like, large pillars of steam. So only run across when you know that you're perfectly safe. Otherwise, you're just gonna get blown off right into the abyss. So I'm just gonna, like, play it safe and wait for this pipe to blow one more time, and we should be able to make it now. Make sure I grab that stamina fruit. Perfect, there we go. And oh geez, garbage. Oh, that was pretty close. Thank goodness we made it though. And now we are finally back in the main hub room. Now we could go directly to the boss door, but there is one more thing that we can collect, guys, right up here is one teeny tiny small chest. It's really not all that important, but I mean, it's right here, so we might as well get it. Inside is another red rupee. So there we go. Now we're pretty much done. Like, all we have to do is make our way to the boss door, and I am so excited to be done with this temple. Like, I will admit, this temple, not as bad as I remember it being. Like, it does have a couple of tedious elements, especially like in the later half, but it's actually not as bad as I remember. So I don't know, man. I'd still rank it like pretty low on my list of like temples in Skyward Sword, but maybe it's like higher than one of the other temples in the game. I don't know. It definitely does have some redeeming values with like the interesting like time shift mechanic and stuff like that. But overall, I find it a little too tedious for me. Alright, there we go. Check it out, guys. The boss door. It's finally time. Master, look at this. There is a great door here that is locked tight. It is only logical that something of great importance likely rests behind this door. I agree, Fi. So, let's place the key in and give it a shot. Come on. Oh, crap. I think I actually got it. Hey, we finally did it. And I totally probably didn't cut out, like, 5 minutes of me trying to, like, figure out how to put in the key inside this door. No, that would never happen. Like, I would never do that to you guys whatsoever. You know, I totally got it in, like, 2 seconds. Or, you know, I mean, if you saw a jump cut, just ignore it, because that didn't happen. The joke being is it took me way too long to figure out how to actually open up that door, and the puzzle is so simple, a 4-year-old could probably do it. But, whatever. We made it through the door, and now it's time for us to fight the boss of this temple. And I love how, like, I don't know, cool and cinematic this intro is. And there he is. Looks very intimidating, right? Well, he's actually fairly easy. Anyways, this is the 1,000-year arachnid Moldarach. So yeah, like I was saying, Moldarach is pretty straightforward. The eyes are his weak points. When the eyes glow red, that means he's about to attack you, so just like strafe to the side or backflip, and you should be able to avoid him. Otherwise, he will grab you, and then you just sort of have to like shake out of it, but you will take some damage. Obviously, you can go after either the smaller claw or the larger claw. You do need to take both of them out regardless, so it really is just like a matter of whichever one you lock onto first. That's probably the one you should worry about taking out, because it doesn't really make that much of a difference. His attacks are pretty much the same in this first phase, so yeah, it's not that big of a deal. The bigger claw is actually a little bit easier to hit, so I mean, I guess if you're having trouble, you can try practicing by going after the bigger claw first. Come on, dude, there we go. So yeah, it's pretty easy to avoid like all of his attacks in the first phase and just take him out. Like, honestly, I might actually take this boss out faster than it took me to solve the puzzle for the boss, though, because now in phase 2, the only thing different is you have to stab him in the eye, and when he goes underground, you just need to use your gust bellows to dig him back up, and then if we can just like stab him in the eye, and oh, that's not very good. Yeah, you need to get close to him first, and then you can, come on, Link, stab him. Oh my gosh, dude, just stab him in the eye, and there we go. That's all there is to it. Like, the fight is not hard whatsoever. I actually do think we beat him faster than it took me to get inside this room, which is kind of sad. And I guess that's like another reason why I really don't like this temple, because the boss is pretty underwhelming, honestly. Like, it's just so simple and so easy that there's really nothing to it. Anyways, though, check it out. Another heart container. Guys, that is our 11th heart container. And, like, we just now completed the 3rd temple, so it's pretty ridiculous that, like, we have 11 hearts after, like, only the 3rd temple. Like, I'm not complaining. I think it's kind of cool, but, I don't know, man. It makes you seem like you're just not gonna die at all in this game, but, the difficulty does ramp up a bit. So, let's grab this heart and see what's waiting for us beyond that door. Like, remember, we went through the entirety of this temple just so we can make our way to the Temple of Time and hopefully find Zelda. So, let's move quickly because, I do not want to be late again. Like, no one wants to get yelled at again, so yeah, let's make sure that doesn't happen. Now, this minecart will take us to the Temple of Time, but obviously, we're in the present, so we need to make this entire room, back in the past. Thankfully, we can very easily do that by, flying our beetle to the very top of this room, where there just so happens to be a time shift stone. So, bam, there we go. Now this entire room is back in the past, and yeah, it looks way cooler like back in the past. Like, holy crap, look at this place. Like, it looks amazing. I mean, it makes sense considering this is essentially taking us to the Temple of Time, but I don't know, man, it looks so mysterious and magical. Like, I love just the light flooding in from the ceiling and all the different colors. It really does look amazing. Like, all handed to Skyward Sword, it has some really incredible visuals, like, through and through. So, I don't know, I love this art style, man. Probably even more than, like, Wind Waker's art style, and I really do love Wind Waker's art style. Impa! Your Grace, quickly, to the gate! Link! Link, here! You'll need this where you're going. And hey, check it out, we got the Goddess Heart, but there's no time to admire it. Go, now! Link! Yeah, am I late now, Impa? No, you're right on time. Link! You must go now. Return to the old woman at the sealed grounds. Tell her what happened here. She will know where you must go. And know that we will... I'll see you again. This isn't goodbye, Link. I promise. Now you've done it, Link. I blame myself. I should have reprimanded you last time we met, but instead, I was soft. I'd take pleasure in punishing you, but I have no time for recreation. But next time, I'll do more than just beat you senseless. I'll make the affair so excruciating you deafen yourself with the shrill sound of your own screams. A report, Master. I can no longer detect Zelda's aura. The moment the gate was destroyed, Zelda's presence disappeared from my readings. You can no longer search for her with your dowsing ability. Zelda's companion instructed you to meet with the Ancient One in the sealed grounds. This corresponds with the records in my memory. I propose that we travel to the sealed temple. Alright, sounds like a good idea, Fi. Wow, it's a good thing we showed up when we did. Like, if we were a second later, that could have gone way worse. Anyways, I think I need a moment to take all that in, so I'm gonna end off the episode here. If you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.